Namaste everyone. In many ways, the Heartfulness way, our Sahaj mark, is very, very special. If you go through the messages delivered on Basant Panchami this year, you'll come across many specialties of Sahaj mark that stands out. Number one is always has been Pranahuti, and it is this Pranahuti transmission that helps us go through various states, various levels of consciousness, various dimensions, effortlessly. Our effort is only very little. As Abhyasis, we open our hearts, close our eyes, be receptive. That's all that is needed. There is nothing simpler than this very act in life. We have all seen how life plays its own tricks. But with meditation, there is so much of solace, so much of peace. And what is there to do also? Nothing much. Close your eyes. Rest of the work is done by our masters. So that much of cooperation is required. Even the great saints have not understood. I think even if I may say even this much, that we go even beyond Vedas and Upanishads. Vedas and Upanishads, they glorify the Atman. Nothing wrong at all with it. But after declaring this theory of Atman and Brahma and all that, they talk about Atman merging in Paramatman and Ansa becoming Paramatman. Have you witnessed even one such a person in the entire history of human existence? The very fundamental thing that the Atman is everything is wrong. Lalaji Maharaj says Atman needs to still further evolve itself. It is not self-sufficient. It is not as it should be. It is not that it is immutable. It is immutable. I mean, it is mutable for better and better states. He gives an example that it is divisible. And many people, they came to me, how is it possible? I said, why not? If we were divided in the first place, in the very beginning, at the very moment of origin, what stops it from dividing later on also? And what is the purpose of this division? It is only to grow and grow and grow, become more and more potent than we originally arrived at. Realizing the self. What is the purpose? The very sentence that says realizing. And when we talk of self, Shastras talk of lower self and also of the higher self. Lower self identifies itself with the world, the body, with the senses, with the subtle bodies, Chit, Manas, Buddhi and Ahankar. Very rarely it identifies itself with consciousness. And we say the self at the higher level keeps watching, keeps witnessing this ever-changing consciousness which is changing all the time because of instability, unstable subtle bodies. Unstable subtle bodies are always influenced by so many things, including minus itself, ever changing mind. How can an ever changing mind grasp the changeless Brahman? Something to think about. Great sages also have been talking about know yourself, know thyself. It is for the first time in the history of humankind, after millennia, Babuji Maharaj was bold enough to say, forget yourself. What is there that you have to realize? There is nothing in you, though there is very special, but there is much greater thing. But if you think that I can become greater by dissolving myself, then you're making a big mistake. So the self has to be transcended. It is not just the mind that needs to be transcended. It is not just that the world has to be transcended, not just the senses have to be transcended, not just that the subtle bodies be transcended, not just that the consciousness be transcended, not just that the self be transcended, and we await in surrender with love. Whatever has to happen will happen then onward. That is the state, absolute state, that begins around the 10th chakra in Sahaj Marg. And culmination around this dimension is beyond Parakasmic or Parabrahman Mandal. Unfortunately, as Abhyasis grows spiritually and they become cognizant, slightly aware that I have become now preceptor or I've been given a position and I'm looking after such and such a zone, etc., etc., or I'm so and so, it destroys you completely. Your spiritual welfare is finished. I'm not trying to scare you, it is a fact. So before you accept such a positions, such a role, be very careful. If your mind, if your heart is not surrendered to the great master, it is better to sit in one corner and, as they say, mind your own business. Just practice in a very anonymous way, come quietly and walk out. Maintain your level. We are not even dust at their feet. Do we understand that? Do you feel that in your heart that we are not even dust? Then the self, lower or higher self importance will not come at all. Idea of being insignificant is highly praised. But do we crave for being nothing? Almost all of us crave for being someone, being something. Then how can we transcend the self, that which is reinforced again and again by our will, by our wish, by our ego?